Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Anatomy of a Movie.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Anatomy of a Movie. We are going to talk all things, character development, plot holes maybe. Some scary stuff in this one a little bit. We are covering Blow the Man Down, the Amazon Prime movie. And I am not here by myself. The incredible Bryant Santos is with me. What's up, Bryant?
You are the sweetest. I'm so happy to be here. This was a fun one, so I'm excited to talk about it.
It was. This one was very different than the movies that I watch. I don't know about you.
Same. Literally so far off my radar.
So far. So this is going to be a good review, we promise. Give a little background about the movie first. So this movie premiered at Tribeca Film Festival last year, 2019, and then came out on Amazon Prime on March 20th of this year. It was written and directed by Bridget Savage Cole and Danielle Krudy, and it stars a couple of newcomers and then a lot of people that have been in the game for a long time. Sophie Lowe, Morgan Saylor, Margot Martindale, and June Squibb are all in it, plus a lot more. It is considered a mystery crime, but also a dark comedy. And so we will get into the dark comedy aspect in just a little bit. Bryant, what were your overall thoughts on the movie?
Well, definitely, like I said, it's super far off my kind of radar. You know, I, of course, watched it to kind of talk about it with you here. So it was definitely, I liked seeing it and like being able to kind of expose myself to this kind of, I guess, genre, because it was definitely a really different genre. Like you mentioned, it's supposed to be a dark comedy, which, of course, I didn't really feel that. So we'll talk about that. I was more scared than anything, even just those opening moments with the harpoon to the neck. I was like, whoa, okay, where are we going with this? So it was a roller coaster, but I felt like it was one of those roller coasters that kind of just go like this. So it was a weird one, but it was also pretty good.
Right. Like we didn't know when we were going to come down from anything. We were stuck in anxiety from the jump. Those singing fishermen, we were texting about it. They made me anxious.
Yes. It was already like so eerie, and just like the music, especially the score, is so eerie. Like just like it's like partly like fun, kind of like, you know, like One Missed Call. Like it was weird. Like it gave me chills. Yeah.
And it was shot so dark, and even when it was never sunny out. It was always gloomy, overcast. We had no time to grab a breath of happiness anywhere throughout this movie. So let's get into it a little bit. So the first thing, let's go ahead and talk about how it's considered a dark comedy. So, you know, it's in the vein of Fargo. I don't know if you've seen the film or the show. Probably not.
I don't think so, no.
I did way back in the day. But what do we think about it being considered a dark comedy? Did you laugh at any point?
Never. I was literally eating like my bowl of yogurt, and I was like, because I was just so confused. And like it was just very, very eerie. Like I said, that's the perfect word to describe it, because it was just so dark. Like you mentioned, the whole setting of just no sunlight, really, really dark weather conditions, and everything was just so gloomy. I did not laugh one single second. Maybe I smiled a little bit or got a little hard eyes when Justin came out, because I needed a good man. But besides that, the whole time I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can continue. Like it was just very dark.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure exactly. I get where they're coming from, because it was so shocking. And the things that were shocking were kind of like dun-dun-dun. Yeah. And then little, not bits, but punchlines.
Yes.
Where you're like, okay, I don't know if that's funny, because that's murder.
Yeah.
So murder isn't necessarily hilarious.
Yeah.
So, okay. I'm glad we vibe on that, because definitely a mystery, definitely lots of crime, but very crooked. Nobody's doing the right thing. Your man Justin, Officer Justin, what do you think about do you think he's pure? Like, do you think that okay.
I would say that he was one of the only people with pure intentions in the whole town. You know, his partner or the guy he's leaning on is definitely one of the most crooked cops out there, which is how they're kind of getting away with everything in this town. And I think that just that moment of when he came to that realization in the end with God, what is her name?
Priscilla.
Priscilla, yes, I was like Priscilla, with Priscilla, and knowing that, you know, she wasn't in what she said she was doing, her and her sister. I think it was definitely interesting to see that. I kind of see where you're coming from, that you don't really see that he has the best intentions, because he could have totally pursued that more. Like when he found that out, he could have totally went there and really tried to solve this crime, but he didn't, you know. So maybe that's a testament to that he doesn't have the best intentions.
Yeah, I don't know, the pie scene with, I don't remember which character it was with, but that seemed,
I thought it was
angry.
his grandma or something.
Oh, maybe it was an auntie or something.
Yeah, I felt like they had some kind of
connection.
Yes.
Yeah. But he was way more intense during that. I thought that he was going to turn into a bad guy. I don't know why. But then he did drop Priscilla once he figured out that she was not telling the truth.
Yeah, I guess he just kind of cut off his emotional connection to her, which I don't think you can do that fast. But he was just like, "Yeah, I'm not into her anymore." And I was like, "Okay, but aren't you gonna like go get her? Like, murder somebody? She covered up a murder, but okay."
Exactly. He just figured out that she is one of the problems, but he just let her loose. Romantically.
Yeah.
And then also let her break the law.
Yes.
Wow. So he's crooked in his own way. See, that's sad, kind of.
I know. I wanted to like him, and I did like him. But I definitely see where you're coming from, with the fact that he could have totally pursued that, but he didn't, and he kind of just went on his merry way, like everyone else does. They turn a blind eye, and that's kind of how this town works, you know. So we'll see.
Yeah. What are you supposed to do, right?
Yep.
Well, okay, so let's talk a little bit about the men versus women dichotomy in this movie. So this movie is all about the women. The women have full control. I felt like they were their own little mob. What did you think?
I definitely agree. You know, they have that little clique that kind of went awry, you know, with the death of the girl's mother. Everything kind of hit the fan. So we have this madam, this brothel owner, who basically they were all in cahoots at one point, but now they're not. So it's definitely an interesting dynamic to see that these women basically run this town. Again, it's very, very crooked because the brothel owner is one of the most powerful women in the whole town, you know, so she kind of has her hand in everything. I definitely like to see that, the men kind of taking a back seat and kind of just being more like puppeteered by the women. So it was great to see that as well. I guess we were kind of seeing that peek out from Justin, that he was trying to get around that, or trying to see more of what these women are doing, but he wasn't able to do that, you know? So I definitely thought it was interesting.
I think, and the men too, they just don't do much. And there were 3 types of them. So the guy that got murdered, that was basically going to either kill or something else, marry Beth.
That was so creepy. Very lovely bones. I was like so scared for her. Like,
no, that was when we first saw it in the trunk, and the hair and the blood in the trunk, that got me. I was like, what have I gotten myself into? That might not be great for right now. But so there's that type of guy, and then there's the guy that uses the brothel, right? That goes to the brothel. And then it's the cops who literally are just eating pie all over town.
And also using the brothel.
Using the brothel. And it's funny because the women basically are shown that they own these men by giving them what they'll just concede to, which is sex and pie.
Yeah.
It's basically
it's a simple life over there in Maine, I guess.
Sex and pie. What is happening? So I thought that was interesting, and it was very Mob Wives.
It does.
Through the whole thing. And they also, you know, they're turning on Enid too. So that was a little wild, because I feel like they also made the bad decisions in the beginning. What do you think about them turning on her because now they've changed their minds?
I never liked seeing this kind of dynamic, because I always feel like you can't just like wake up, you know, like you made those mistakes, sure, acknowledge them, but you can't just wake up and be like, we're all against her, like she's in the wrong now, you know, like if you are all involved, you're definitely have to kind of work on it together. They're kind of all against her, which is where
Yeah.
this whole story goes. And I feel like they could have been better about, trying to talk with her or trying to get their point across, but they were more so just kind of antagonizing her, which made things bad for everybody involved. So I don't like seeing it, but I guess, that's kind of what happens. People are trying to move on from their past, but it's always kind of there.
Exactly. And then you try to pretend like it's somebody else's fault.
Yeah, they're definitely putting all the blame on her, where Ina's not having it. She made it clear. She's like, we were all in this together. We started this brothel because you said it yourself. I wouldn't want this to happen to my own daughter, so let's do it to somebody else's daughters. So
Exactly.
that was one of the moments I was like, whoa, like that's really like some effed up shit, because I was like, that is like crazy. The fact that it's
Yeah.
like really looking out for basically yourself, yourself and
Only
your own
yourself.
tribe. Yeah, you're not looking out for the good of the town, which is really interesting to see with these kind of movies, because usually with a small town like this, that's quite the opposite. You see
Yeah.
everybody kind of looking out for each other. Everybody's daughter is your daughter. But in this town, it's really like, I'm going to stay in my corner of the world and you're going to stay in your corner. So
Exactly. So what about the sisters? So we have Priscilla and Mary Beth. And Mary Beth murders a man in defense right from the jump. And Priscilla obviously helped her right away, right? Well, after she considered calling the cops. And then there was a lot of back and forth about that, but then kind of treated her like she was this big problem the rest of the time, I felt. What did you think about that? Do you think it's like, choose one, you're ride or die, or you're going to report your sister? Or do you think that that is the reality of what would have happened?
It could be the reality, just because the initial shock is 100% there. Like if anyone comes to you with not even murder, like even something smaller than murder, like, like assault.
Everything else.
Yeah, assault, you would be like, whoa, okay, let's call the cops. But like that far, she was definitely feeling that initial shock. She definitely could have handled it better as the story progressed. Like you mentioned, she was kind of like, in and out. She was like, oh gosh, should I throw my sister under the bus, or should I report both of us, So I feel like that is definitely a struggle people go with, and it's definitely real. But I feel like their relationship was kind of weird to me to see, because one of the things I really noticed was, for the longest time until Justin mentioned it, I didn't know who was the older sister. So I couldn't tell the dynamic of who was kind of taking care of who, because they both look a little bit younger, which is why I was confused.
Yeah.
So I was like, gosh, is Priscilla taking care of her younger sister? That's that whole dynamic of, my older sister is always there for me. But when Justin said it, I kind of put all the pieces together, and I realized what Priscilla was going through.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we find out more in the end, which we will talk about the very last scene. But let's talk about the brothel quickly, and the ladies of the brothel. I think that plot, maybe it's because I'm not from a small, secluded, well, I am kind of, but not as secluded of a place as that. So everybody knows it's a brothel.
Yeah.
And everybody knows what happens there. Why do the women that work there get treated? They're the only ones that get treated as if they're second-class citizens in this town. But everybody knows it exists, just like any other place. It's like if you are working at Target, it's the same thing.
Yes.
What do you think that is?
It's definitely the whole concept of shaming sexuality, because everyone, especially like you mentioned, in these small towns, everything a lot of times is very like, religious based, or things are kind of more like, hush hush on the DL. So when people explore sexuality, or, openly show sexuality like that, everyone's like, oh no, you can't do that. That's something you keep at your house. So when these women are putting it out for everyone to see, while everyone else is still participating, they can't have their name in that. So they're like, oh, no, let's just turn a blind eye. They'll continue to do it, and they're satisfying the men in the town. That's fine. But I'm not going to be, an accessory to it. I'm not going to actually take part. If I do, it's going to be very, very hush hush. So it's definitely just the whole arc about like shaming sexuality, and how sexuality is not as openly discussed as it should be.
100%. Especially it's kind of like we're watching a brothel as if there's a pimp and it's on the down low and it's on the street. And these girls appear to have basically no money and not treated properly, kind of starving, especially that one scene where the girl was just like, she was catching up on dinner. And so, but what it also seems like is this one brothel runs a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
therefore it should have money. Like, where is it going? So they're getting taken advantage of doing this thing when they could be working anywhere else. That's
Exactly.
what was kind of driving me crazy, is that these girls were just stuck in this madness, but couldn't figure out how to not be the ones anymore until they she murdered Enid
Yes.
with a pillow.
I was like,
Ah! And of her money. That was crazy.
It was. I love that actress, by the way. I am obsessed
Yeah.
with Glow. So when I saw her, I was like,
Oh,
oh yes, girl. I was so happy to see her. She had such an amazing performance in this show.
she did.
Played that character so well. Of all these, like you said, these people just pulling her in different directions, the other
Yeah.
women basically saying, don't do that anymore. And I don't know what you think about this, but I feel like even those women didn't have good intentions. They were trying to paint it the fact that they're looking out for her and all this kind of stuff, but they're really looking out for themselves. They're
Exactly.
trying to get this business out for whatever reason because they probably don't want it to come back and bite them in the ass.
Exactly. Every single person is out for themselves
Mm-hmm.
so let's talk about the final scene of the movie. We
Ah!
see the sisters on a walk, and then we see each elder woman that we've seen throughout the entire time cleaning up the murder in a different way from their respective yards, homes, wherever. I was shocked that that was happening and that they knew and they were handling it. What did you think when that happened?
It was so confusing to me because I was just trying to figure out what was going on, and it didn't click until I saw the chest. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, they have like blood. And oh my God, it was so crazy. So I was like so confused the whole time because I was like, why are they just walking down the street and why is everybody singing? But it
Mhm.
definitely clicked when I saw that chest. So it was so crazy to see that, I guess the same point I brought up is the fact that they're trying to get rid of the skeletons in their closet. So they're like, okay, someone else took care of it for us. So let's just hush hush, call it like it is, and just look the other way as we've been doing for the last 20 years. So
Yeah. I thought it was crazy, but I did get a sense of them banding together through that. I know
mhm.
that they totally had their own personal intentions because all of them do, no matter what. But there was something there where they wanted to save those girls because probably something that they owed to their mother
Exactly.
who passed.
Yes. I think so
So,
too.
yeah, interesting.
It is. It was crazy.
I know. Well, before we get to rating the film on our own, I have some trivia questions for you,
Yay!
and we'll see how it goes.
Let's do it.
So, the first question is, which character slash actor was in 3 seasons of Girls?
Whew.
Did you
Okay,
watch
I'm looking at the
Girls?
cast list. No.
Okay, you're allowed to peek.
Okay, I'm looking at the cast list. I'm like, who could possibly be? Okay, let's
I'll
just
say
throw a name out
male.
there. A
Okay.
male. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Is it Justin, my man, the police officer?
No, it's not your man, but that would have made sense. I'll give you one more guess.
His partner.
No. So it was the guy that Mary Beth murdered.
Oh.
She played the fiance to Allison. Oh no, what is her last name? Lena Dunham's best friend on the show.
Okay.
The husband in the last, and it was destructive, crazy relationship. He's a really good actor.
Oh
We
yes. Oh my God.
Yeah, we got some of that from
I was creeped already by just his 5 minutes in the show and him dying. I was like, ah.
so scary, but he's a really, really good actor. So shout out. His name is Yvonne Moss
Love.
Bachrach.
Gorski.
Okay.
Gorski.
As Gorski, yes. So next one. Which character slash actor was in 3 seasons of Homeland? It's a female in the film. One of the lead females.
Okay. God, I haven't watched Homeland either.
That's okay.
Let's just say Mary Beth.
You're right.
Yay!
Yay! Her name is Morgan Saylor.
She was amazing as well.
So good. I hope that this cast and all of the women, they've made it. They've all done their thing. But these two girls, I hope they pop off because they were really, really good.
Yes, definitely a breakthrough performance for them.
Absolutely. So you were right. Okay. What actress was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress in 2014? It's one of the crew of 4 women that's against Enid.
Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna peek at the cast.
Peek.
Cast list. Let's see.
I got it.
Oh, Ryan's here.
There's Ryan. Say it, Ryan.
I'm going June Squibb.
That's right. What movie do you remember?
Nebraska. She pees on a grave. It's great.
Yeah.
Gotta watch it. Oldest nominated actress ever. Oldest nominated actress in the history of the Academy Awards.
Ever.
June Squibb, 2014, Nebraska. Incredible.
Dang.
Kills it. She got nominated for basically everything that year. She killed it. She's amazing.
Love.
Next one. Did you watch The Act on Hulu?
No, I was scared.
Honestly, don't watch it
watch
now. Don't watch it in quarantine because it'll mess you up. But after we're out and free, whenever that may be, watch it because it's so good. I'm going to skip that question then because you won't know.
It's not the kissing booth girl?
The kissing booth girl is that, no, I wish she was there. Okay.
I love her too.
She, amazing. So which actor, you may not have seen this show either, so we can scratch it if you haven't. Which actress played Martha Kent, Clark Kent's mom, in Smallville?
Oh, damn. That's my sister's favorite show.
Is it? So maybe you know.
She has like literally all 7 seasons on DVD. Like she has like, that's her favorite. Okay. In
one
the
of
cast.
The women. Yep, one of the women, not June Squibb. And I'll tell you it's not Enid.
Not Enid. Okay, so I'm looking at everybody else. Annette O'Toole.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are a really good guesser.
Yes.
So Annette O'Toole is who played Gail. So she was in every single episode of the entire series.
I love that.
Which is a lot of episodes, that Smallville. Dang.
It went on forever.
Exactly. All right. Well, that was trivia. You did a really good job. So
Thanks.
good. Thank you, Ryan, for chiming in. But Bryant won. So, all right. So let us move on to the ratings.
Yeah.
So the Rotten Tomatoes, let's see. Certified fresh, when I checked, at 99%.
Everyone's loving that one.
That is a high percentage. And the audience score, though, was 79%. And the IMDb rating is a 6.3 out of 10. So let's go ahead and go with IMDb. Out of 10, what do you think?
I would say 5 because it was definitely not the best movie I ever watched, but I would recommend it to some people who are into this kind of dark thriller, I guess dark comedy, if you want to call it that. Because it definitely had some interesting moments. And like you said, I love when women are portrayed so strongly. So I would definitely recommend it to some people. It's crazy that I was almost the exact thing that happened with Big Time Adolescence when we reviewed that, is that it didn't pick up until the last 20 minutes. I'm used to like these huge theatrical films that are like this, that, or the other, but with this, it was like this and it went down. So I was like, it was like pretty much just one note until the last 20 minutes when everything just went boom, 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 boom. So that I guess not really a critique from my end, but that would be one of the reasons why I would say it's a 5, because it kind of didn't give me enough like this.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I'm going to give it a 6.
Yeah.
Only because it's like a sociology project dream for really just dissecting all of these characters. Everybody is kind of in the same economic group as well, but there is status within that. And that I think is very interesting to look at all of these different characters of all of these different ages that live basically the same lifestyle, but for some reason there's hierarchy. So I thought that was the most interesting part of the entire thing. So I'll go ahead and give it a 6. I agree. People that like eerie, dark movies will thrive in this film.
I was so scared. I was like,
scared
with my Olaf
my
plush.
gosh.
I was like, oh my god.
Olaf will protect you from everything. Don't you worry. All right, guys. Well, that is it for today's episode of Anatomy of a Movie. Blow the Man Down. Please, please, please go check it out on Amazon Prime. Let us know what you think of it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to Popcorn Talk to see us review some movies next. Bryant, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at the Bryant Santos, as well as AfterBuzz TV's Quarantine with the Stars.
And don't forget, gay Twitter.
Oh, and gay Twitter, yes. If you want to see us
personal.
talking with man and me shooting my shot, follow us on gay Twitter.
If you guys want to watch Bryant shooting a shot live, check out gay Twitter on AfterBuzz TV. So good. And y'all can find me at Hey Trina Dong on both Twitter and Instagram. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time on Anatomy of a Movie.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.